So breaking news, I guess not breaking anymore. Texas ranks number 1 in AP preseason poll. Is that good? Is that bad? How do you feel about it?
I don't I don't like it just in terms of because um because if you don't have the right mental in terms of handling success or handling like the media, then that can affect you. Now, with that being said, I think this team isn't wired like that. So, um happy for him. Like, you don't get a you don't get an award for it, but I think having a weekly target on their back should help them play better in terms of week in and week out being consistent because now you're always going to have a target on your back.
That is 100% correct. Do
Yeah,
not get a big head. Yep.
that's
I
my
I
fear because the team is kind of still young. Like the
yes.
talented, but it's still young overall. So it's like, do they feed into the hype? What are they thinking internally to like in terms of we're number one? So
Yeah, for me, there's sort of two sides to this. When it comes to recruiting, it's always good to have the number 1 next to you, right? You can go to any recruit and say, "Hey, we're the number 1 team in the
absolutely.
country." That should give you enough reason to come to us, right? Not that Texas needs the juice because they have, consistently been great at recruiting, but
Right.
just gives you that little extra thing. It's great in that category. It can be a little bit hurtful in terms of an overconfidence aspect if you come into that first week versus Ohio State and you're thinking, "Oh, we're high and mighty, we're Texas, we're number 1." That's great and all, but at the end of the day, you got to go out there and show that you're
Wow.
deserving of that ranking. And nice thing
Yeah.
about it is they get that Ohio State matchup right away to kind of prove it.
Yeah. I mean, to that's a great point, Matthew. First time ever. So like it is cool. It's cool to hear, cool to see. But like how many teams, start one, finish one? Like that's to me, and like in this era of free
Yeah.
agency, I don't call it NIL. This is free agency. In this era
Yeah.
of free agency, like the teams are much more balanced. So being number one, like think about it. The number one team didn't even make it to the national championship last year.
Yeah.
Number one team all
Who
year was
who
Oregon.
who was the number 1 last year? Was it
Oregon.
well, I'm sorry, who was it preseason?
Oh, might have been Georgia.
Yeah, it might have been Georgia. Maybe it was Ohio State. I could see that too.
Yeah, but yeah. So like I like it, but now that poses the question: is there extra pressure on Sark now?
Yep.
Because you got to think about a whole bunch of things in terms of how much money they spend. Because everyone knows, like they spend a lot of money to pay these guys to get them
Mhm.
there, all this stuff. So you're spending what? How much was the number? 20 million,
I'm sure
something
it's
like that,
some 2025. I'm sure.
right? So now you're spending that money. They just upgraded their locker room. You know what I mean? Like just all this money, just here. Okay, you get the preseason one. Now is the extra pressure to go and not just make it to a national championship. Because like first you got to win the SEC.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? So like now is the extra excuse me. Is it like is it too much pressure? Is it any pressure? Is it no pressure? Like I'm just thinking just in terms of like now like how people are going to view them and how they are going to view Sark because now it's like, all right, you have your 5-star quarterback, you have the $20 million roster, you have the best like top, like you have everything. It's no excuses, right? Go win. So
Yep.
I'm just curious to hear what you think about that.
I will tell you, for me, every year Sark has been here, it's been a step forward, right? First year,
Yep.
terrible year. I mean, that was hard stuff to watch. Second year, you make it to a bowl game. Third year, you're making a Big 12 championship and you're winning that thing. Then you go to the SEC and you were, by most accounts, the best team in the SEC minus, a Georgia. Make it to
Right.
the SEC championship game, you lose, but then you make it to the playoffs, go 3 rounds deep, and you lose to the eventual national champions in Ohio State. You don't want to take a step back this year. It's a new roster, so there might be a bit more volatility here, but you want to take that next step, which is,
Mm-hmm.
number 1, you got to beat Georgia. Cannot lose to Georgia again this year.
You
Right?
have
You lost to them twice, and you got them again at your home stadium. So you can't lose to Georgia, especially with, in my opinion, Arch Manning being by far the better quarterback. So you got to win that one. And then once you get past the Georgia, it would be nice to win the SEC championship. That'd be cool. That would be a step forward. But making it to the national championship is where we want to be at. Whether you win it or you lose it, taking that next step forward is really what, in my opinion, would be a great year. If you make it to the round before and you lose to, I don't know, you lose to a Clemson, you lose to a Penn State, whatever, right? It's understandable. It would be a little disappointing, but you can look at it and say, we did take a step forward. We just didn't take that big step forward. But you don't want to take a step back. If you lose at the same level you did last year and you have a similar year where maybe you don't win the SEC championship game, or even worse, don't make it to the SEC championship game, that would be a little disappointing. I mean, Sark's not going to lose his job anytime soon. He's making good money. So it's nothing. There's no pressure in terms of that. But in terms of people's perspective of him as a coach, I think there is some pressure there.
Yep. Absolutely. Just, I mean, again, like, they have everything. To me, it's like the stars are kind of aligned for a big time run. Like, the run last year was great, and that was expected. Like those were the expectations. And the roster's changed. It's gotten younger, and I don't think those expectations change. I think they've even gotten higher because they think they've gotten better, which is crazy.
Yeah.
They also a lot of talent, and I think those coaches know that they've gotten better. Now they just got to put those young guys to work. So, to your point, in terms of his job security, no, there's no pressure. He's good. Like, I think eventually he's going to win a bunch of national championships there, and he's going to get a statue. That's just my personal opinion.
What Matthew said is correct.
What you got?
He will start to be questioned like Kirby Smart was if we don't win the Natty or win the SEC. 100% agree with that.
100%. And that's why I think you have to start with the SEC. Like, he has to, because everyone knows that's the best conference in football. Go with like, we win that, and then losing the Natty to whomever, or go, you know what I mean? Like, it, to me, it solidifies his legacy as a coach. But yeah, I'm rooting for these guys more than ever, because I see all the talent and like everything is kind of aligning. So I'm super excited. Not gonna lie, I can't wait to go to Columbus.
I know, me too.
Can't wait.
The way I kind of look at this, if Sark doesn't make it to a Natty this year, I think you're going to start seeing the comparison between him and Ryan Day, where I was like, Ryan, especially if we lose to Georgia, right? All of a sudden, Ryan Day, it's you can't beat Michigan. Now for Sarkisian, it's can't beat Kirby Smart. So that's why for me, number one, for a successful season, you got to overcome the big dogs in Georgia who have been the leaders of the SEC for the last 7-8 years. And then on top of that, you don't necessarily have to win the national championship this year for it to be a successful season, right? But if we go out there and we get upset in round 2 or 3, knock on wood, of course, let's hope that doesn't happen. But if it does, then there's going to be the early Kirby Smart conversation, the Ryan Day conversation, which is something that for Sarkisian, you're going to want to avoid. I have faith in him. I'm not too overly concerned about it. I think Texas, as you've talked about throughout the conversation, is just so loaded with talent, with not just seniors who are about to leave going to the NFL, but like young guys that are 5-star, 4-star dudes who are going to be NFL prospects 2-3 years down the road here. So is it fair to say that this is Sarkisian's most talented roster? Maybe not best roster, but most talented?
Not even close. I don't think it's close. Like, he had talented teams like before, but I don't think they were this talented across the entire team. Like, he had studs at a couple different spots where, like, oh my God, like, this guy's really good. I think you got that across. You just pick a position. It's like stud. Another one. It's just they aren't proven yet. But the talent is all there. So now these guys just have to go out week in and week out and go and just earn their name. Like, essentially, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, this is by far his most talented team. listen, if they go win a national championship, this will go down as one of the most talented teams in Texas history. When
Oh,
you
for sure.
go back and look at it. So yeah, by
Yeah,
far one of the most talented teams.
like you said, when you look at this roster and you could just pick a point, pick a position, right?
Yeah.
Edge. Who's the 5-star there? Oh, we got Justice Terry. We got Colin Simmons. Lance Jackson was a 5-star. What about safety? Oh, we got Zealous Hicks. We got Jonah Williams, Xavier Filsaime, 5-star guys. You look at offensive line. It's like Brandon Baker is now in his first year, former 5-star. We got a bunch of high 4-stars like Nick Brooks and Daniel Cruz at center. I mean, you just keep going up and down the roster. 5-stars, 4-stars everywhere. And that's not to say that 5 stars and 4 stars lead to national championships, but you'd rather have a 5-star than a 3-star. Yep.
They help. If they are really 4-star prospects, those guys help. And, Texas does one of the better jobs of keeping their own guys there. Like, to me, that's the most impressive thing. Like, they go to the portal and grab guys and they build depth, right?
Yep.
But at the same time, they do a good job of not losing key players. Like they can let guys walk at certain positions because it's like, oh, well, we think the 3 guys behind you are better anyway. So now, you know what I mean? So like, to me, like that's his superpower in recruiting. He does a good job. That staff does a good job of keeping their own guys so that you can build this roster where, to Matt's point, 1 through 85, the most talented.
Yeah, and you talk about the transfer